Wow, so that's it. They just hit a 51-yarder on like right before the 2-minute warning. Packers are gonna lose this game. They're gonna fall to 4-7. That's it. They didn't stop Derrick Henry. They couldn't get off the field. They had the ball for 2 minutes in the second quarter. That is ridiculous. Christian Watson, 2 touchdowns. That's amazing. That's awesome. Great for him. But the Packers falling to 4-7. That's basically it. They have to win out now after that, which means they have to win at Philly, at Chicago, against the Vikings, at Miami, against the Rams. It's going to be tough. Such a bummer. At Lambeau, after a win, the Packers needed to get this victory, and they just didn't do enough. It seems like they came out flat. They didn't seem like they came out with energy. I didn't like the body language coming out of the tunnel. Nobody was excited. Nobody seemed thrilled or pumped to be back and ready for action. So just tough. A tough way to lose. Tennessee just punches you in the mouth. They play sound on both sides of the ball. They make you really, do your job and just do the little things right. You have to execute on every play. And they just kept coming at it. 18-play drive. They didn't score, but they had us backed up. We couldn't do anything. Then they score on the next drive. Just couldn't stop Derrick Henry enough. He just seemed to always get the first down on 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1. And, you can't play like that. Rodgers didn't have enough chances. They made the most of some of them. They got some points, but just not a good game at all for the Packers. They needed to do more. They needed to run the ball better. They didn't run the ball very well at all. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon both couldn't get going on the ground. And then some of Aaron Rodgers' throws were off. They just seemed off. Sammy Watkins again on a totally different page than 12. And then just other guys, sometimes Rodgers would underthrow it, or Lazard had one knocked out and then he dropped one. It's just execution issues. Packers aren't good enough to make up for a lot of that stuff. And then when they do get a good, Douglas picked off Tannehill. That's a huge momentum swing. That's a huge play. There's enough time to score and enough time to get a stop, and they don't do anything. And then they get a big stop on 3rd down and make them punt. They get a sack by Preston Smith, and they still can't get anything. And they used all their timeouts up at about the 5-minute mark in the 4th quarter. So that was that. It's so disheartening. Such a bummer. They lose again. Are they going to score again before? It's going to get out. It's 27-17. Packers they're right around that 18.5 point a game mark. Can't seem to really get past that. Last week was an anomaly, really. And we were hoping we could carry some of that momentum, and now it just looks like this Packers season is going to come to a crashing halt. Yes, they have 10 days off. They do get a little gap here. They're going to have some time to rest, but they needed to win this game. They needed to carry that momentum forward. I really was upset that LaFleur won the toss and was elected to kick off. You're basically giving it to a Titans team who, runs the ball, and if they can maintain the drive, are going to sustain the clock and, have Rodgers sit on the bench and cool off. I wanted the ball right away, go down, score, put the pressure on, make the Titans have to throw the ball more than they want to, maybe get out of what they were game planning to do. Giving them the ball first, that was just kind of handing them the game right there. For me, I just felt like that's just the wrong direction, especially coming off the win last week. You want to be flying high. You want to make sure that you're good to go and have everybody just, take that momentum, take the fans, and drive down and score, and then put the pressure on Tennessee. They came out, they kind of just punched us in the mouth, kept getting 3rd downs, got down and scored on the first drive, So that's not the way you want to start. Took the fans out of it, even though they sounded like they were loud tonight. Packers had their chances. They had 3 chances at the end, 3 different drives to do something with the football, and they weren't able to do it. Rodgers was off with his guys. Christian Watson, though, another big 3rd down catch that was right down, and then just Aaron Jones gets stuffed on 4th and 1. I just don't understand running it right at Jeffrey Simmons, their best defensive lineman. It just doesn't make sense to me. And obviously, it was going to be a long shot anyway if they even got that. So it's just not what they needed to do. Such a tough way to lose. And, you know, now, like I said, if they don't win at Philly, then at Chicago, and then they have their bye, it's gonna be tough. Their season could be over before they even get to the bye week. And at 4-7, it basically is. It's such a bummer. You know, they really were optimistic about winning, and they thought they could do back-to-back, and they thought some of their woes of the past were behind them, and they were going to be able to get this game. But Vrabel's got his guys ready, even the young guys and some of the guys that have been hurt and coming back. They're just always ready to go. They coach them well. They execute, and Tannehill played good, even though he had a pick. He played really well otherwise. And Derrick Henry just kept going and going and going and going. And they played him pretty well. They stopped him up pretty well, but just not enough. Couldn't get the stops when they needed, and they couldn't execute on offense when they needed to either. Keyshawn Nixon, bright spot on punt returns. I like what I saw. I figured he'd be more explosive. I think he's going to get a punt or a kick return for a touchdown. It'll probably be in a game when we get blown out, and it won't matter, but at least it'll be sweet. You know, we haven't had one of those, and you could just see he brings a totally different, electricity to the kick game. So that's exciting. And obviously, again, Christian Watson, 2 touchdowns, backing up his 3-touchdown game with 2 touchdowns. Hope you guys started him in fantasy football. I actually threw him in one of the lineups I have, so that's kind of cool. I didn't know what he would do. You know, he had such a big week last week, and I figured, well, he's probably going to do well, at least get the targets. But is he going to lead to touchdowns? And it led to 2. Could have been a really big game for the kid if we could have gotten in scoring range again. But the offense just looked stagnant. Guys look tired. I know guys are hurt, and I know it was a quick turnaround. But both teams have to deal with the same thing. I just think the energy and all the talk and all the craziness surrounding the Mike McCarthy and the Aaron Rodgers Bowl last week and Rodgers winning and all those things. I think that just kind of sucked a lot of the life out of these guys, and now with the break, hopefully they can regroup and go surprise the Philadelphia Eagles team that's going to be waiting and ready to win, because they're chasing that #1 seed along with the Minnesota Vikings. So Packers fall to 4-7. Such a bummer there. It really does suck, but it is what it is, and hopefully they can run the table now after they ran the table for a week. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Check out other videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Go Pack Go. Peace out, and hopefully they can win a game soon.